I know sometimes things may not always make sense to you right now, but hey, what daddy always tell you, straighten up, little soldier.
This Gets a Blog, aka Gets a Mac. This week my blog will be on which iPod is worth your money. And I'd like to go down. Here's the shuffle. Right now there's an exclusive for stainless steel iPod Shuffle, Nano, iPod Classic, iPod Touch, then the higher end 32 and 64GB iPod Touch. Right here, as you can see, the capacity of iPod Shuffle is, for the 2GB is up to 500 songs, 4GB is up to 1000 songs. The exclusive one is a 4GB, so that's up to 1000 songs, as you see here. iPod Nano, the 8GB, is up to 2000 songs and up to 8 hours of video. The 16GB is up to 4 hours or 4000 songs and up to 16 hours of video. The iPod Classic is a 160GB and it is up to 40,000 songs and 200 hours of videos. The 8GB iPod Touch will be up to 1,750 songs, up to 10 hours of video. The 32GB iPod Touch is up to 7,000 songs and 40 hours of video. The 64GB iPod Touch is up to 14,000 songs and up to 80 hours of video. Now with the capacity of them, I would say for the prices and that there are, if you have a lot of songs, I would recommend the iPod Classic. If you are the average person that listens to music, I would suggest the 8GB or 16GB iPod Nano. Also because it does have a video camera on it. The iPod Touches, as you can see, you do get 2 hours more video, but you do get 250 songs less than the iPod Nano 8GB. So, although you do get the nice touchscreen, but on the Nano it's also about $50 cheaper, and you get the camera. And you also get the choice of different colors, as you can see right here. The ones that you can only choose for different colors is the Shuffle and the Nano. And as you can see, the prices are here for the 2GB iPod Shuffle, $59, and the 4GB, $79. For the exclusive iPod Shuffle, $99. And now to the iPod Nano, the 8GB is $149. The 16GB is $179. iPod Classic goes for $249. 8GB iPod Touch is $199. The 32GB is $299, and the 64GB is $399. And right down here it shows the size specs and what's the size. Right here's the weight. This is about 2 times the weight. So the 4GB actually weighs more than the 2GB. Then over here, the Nano weighs twice as much as the 4GB. So I guess it does kind of play out 2GB, 4GB, 8GB. Then this is the iPod Classic 4.9. Both iPod Touches for the 8 gig and 32 and 68 gig both weigh in at the same. Charging time for the shuffles are about 3 hours, 2-hour fast charge time to 80%. iPod Nano, 3 hours, 1.5 hours fast charging to 80%. For all classic and iPod Touch is about 4 hours, 2 hours fast charging to 80%. Sad to say, the iPod Shuffle does not have no display. But then the Nano does have a 2.2-inch diagonal display. The iPod Classic has a 2.5-inch diagonal color LCD with LED backlit. And as an inch bigger is the iPod Touch with a 3.5-inch diagonal widescreen multi-touch display, almost similar to the iPhone. The navigation for both iPod Shuffles is the earphones with remote plus voiceover select languages. The navigation for the iPod Nano is the click wheel with voiceover. That's another thing that I should also point out. The iPod Touch does not have the voiceover. Now, the only thing that the iPod Classic has is the click wheel. iPod Touch navigation for the 8 gig is only the multi-touch display. For the 32 gig and the 68 gig is the multi-touch display and earphones with remote and mic plus voice control. So, that been a blog of what the tech specs and what I think is actually better. I think they're all great iPods. I just recently got my first iPod. I got the iPod Nano 8 gig. I was gonna be getting the Touch, but then I saw the camera in that, and I'm like, I'd rather have the camera than the touch screen, because what if I'm somewhere and I don't have my camera and I want to record something? So that's a great feature. And the reason I only got the 8 gig was I was running low. I would have got the 16, but I was running low in my money and I would never had enough to pay for the tax. I was like $2 short, so, and I can't get no money for like another 2 weeks. So I'm kind of sad. I might take it back to get the 16 gig. I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep the 8 gig. But I did have a default with my first one. I had to take it back for a second one. I do got the silver one. The default actually on it was the headphones. There's like a cut almost. So I taped it up so it wouldn't rip completely. The headphones would end up in two different pieces, but the left headphone did not work. So that's been my blog. Comment, rate, subscribe, please. Look at my other channel, and have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.